Hey y'all, come on in here. Come on in here. Let's talk about grants, okay? Let's talk about grants. Drop a money bag in the chat as you are coming in. Drop a money bag in the chat as you are coming in. Let's talk about grants, okay? Ew. Let me go ahead and get this up here. Let's get cute. Thank you so much. I feel like, the baby is doing me right because I've been feeling good. Thank God. We thank God. We thank God. But I'm very grateful. Most of my clothes still fit okay for this pregnancy. I feel like my face hasn't completely changed shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here like looking like a totally different person. So I'll take it. Hey, Rashana girl. I will take it. Okay. Y'all, I'm so excited because here we go. Thank you so much. A little baby weight. I'm excited. I'm so excited because it's grant season and this time
Yes.
around. How
I'm
you doing?
good. And yes, the baby weight is doing you well. Okay, honey. The
Is it
baby
doing me good? I'm so excited. That makes me so excited because I'm like, can they tell? Like, do I look extra chunky? But I feel like you can mostly see it in the cheeks. Like, that's what everybody keeps telling me. You can see it in the cheeks.
you look good. Glowing. You're glowing.
Thank you, girl. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, Stormy. Like, we are giving away $5,000.
Literal.
We are giving away a $5,000 grant.
I love this not only because it's going to help someone really scale and grow their business, but I love giving back to our communities, right? They support us, love on us all the time, and I cannot wait for us to give this grant out to a deserving business owner.
Oh my gosh, I am just literally so excited. So, y'all, I have always wanted to do a grant, but I always feel like God really opens the opportunity when it's really time. And I've always wanted to do one since like 2021. But I don't know if it was time. Maybe I needed to find the right person. I needed to find the right partner. It just didn't align. But this time around, I hit up Stormy and I was like, listen, I have an idea. I want to give away some money to my community in the form of a grant. Let's partner up. And it was like, okay. And it was just, God just opened the doors to make it happen.
Always. And I'm always down. I'm like, absolute. A grant, say less. If the girls
Say
want it,
less.
girls, it is. So I'm excited.
Really, really excited. So let's talk about, because y'all, first of all, Stormy introduced you. They probably already know who you are, but just in case,
Hey,
go ahead and let the
y'all.
people know.
Hey, y'all. My name is Stormy Banks. If this is your first time on the live with me, getting to know me, welcome to the live. And I own a company called Pink Print, which is a full service grant writing agency. And I also have a nonprofit foundation called Pink Print Fund, which gives grants to women entrepreneurs. So I'm excited to be here with you all. Make sure you click that little arrow above Ellie's head and follow both of us if you're not already.
Yes, follow us, y'all, because here's the thing. The fantastic thing about Stormy and what she does with Pink Print is like, not only does she write the grants, but then she also gives the grants. So when I knew I wanted to do a grant, I'm like, let me partner with someone who's already been doing this so that we make sure it goes off seamlessly, perfectly. Because y'all know I love teaching you how to apply for grants. I love talking to you about grants, the whole nine, but I've never given a grant. So this is the first time and it's absolutely perfect. So Stormy, let the people know, right? Let's talk about what can people do, entrepreneurs do in grant season to really maximize their chances of winning, not just this grant, but all the grants.
The one thing that I always tell people is be grant ready. Like, get your business grant ready. And what that looks like is have all of your documentation, have all of your videos ready to go, have all of your answers already in a document so that you can easily apply to multiple grants, right? Like, for instance, on our grant, there's a 30-second video that you're going to have to create. And what I always tell people is just do one Google Drive folder where it has all of your information in it. It has your, you know, business formation information, your operating agreements, your business plan, your pitch decks are in there, and your video submission is ready to go so that when you're going to apply for a grant, you can simply drop it, drag and drop, that you're not missing.
Drag and drop.
Yes, you don't want to miss.
That makes so much sense. That's exactly the same process that I have, because you guys want to make it easier for yourselves, right? We want them to work smarter. We want them to work smarter, not harder. And I call it having like a grant rap sheet, right? So you keep a rap sheet in your computer, which has, you know, any previous grant applications you've done. Keep all your answers kind of like in one place, right? Because one thing we know, Stormy, is that many grants are going to ask you the same version of questions. You know, there's really nothing new under the sun when you're applying for a grant. Most of the time, the questions are very similar. So if you just answered this question on a grant application a week ago, put it on your rap sheet, and then boom, when you come up to this next grant, you already have a version of this answer that you can just modify a little bit, and now you can apply for a grant in 10 minutes versus, you know, 2 hours.
Absolutely. And that will definitely maximize your chances of winning, because the more applications you have out there, the more chances of winning that you're have. I always tell people, don't apply to one grant, get denied, and be like, I'm discouraged, I'm not going to apply to any other ones. It's a competition-based program, so you have to continually apply. One thing I tell my community, I say, one grant a day keeps the debt away. So let's try to get one grant a day, okay?
I love that. And you know what? It's so doable, because right now, I feel like at the beginning of the year, grant season, right, between January and May, there are so many grants, y'all. Like, there's just so many. And what you're saying is so true. Don't just apply for one and then when you don't win, kind of get discouraged. You really have to. It's like the law of large numbers. The more applications you put out there, the higher your chances of winning them. This is why we know people that have won grants. People in Stormy's community have won grants. People in my community have won grants. So it's definitely possible. You just have to really treat it as a marathon, I would say, and not as a sprint. You know, don't just do one and done. Make it a part of your, you know, the same way that you market your business, the same way that you respond to emails, the same way that you do customer service. Apply for grants. You know, it's just a part of your daily flow.
Absolutely. Because one thing I think people don't understand is that there's no limit of how many grants you can win in a year, right? And grants are actually put on your taxes as gross income. So you're able to utilize that income to get other funding in the future. So utilize grants as a revenue strategy in your business, and not just a one-off, oh, I need to get a grant so I can get some inventory, but it's a continuous thing that you should be doing. Get you a VA or hire an assistant who can just apply to all the grants in the world if you have it, or not. Just make, you know, take 10 minutes a day, get your documents together, get your questions together, just start applying consistently.
I think that's so good. And another great thing about grants, right? And I'm sure you get this question all the time, Stormy, is like, people think because they're in real estate, they can't win grants, or because they're in e-commerce, they can't win grants, you know? And I know my community has heard me bark about this, but you tell them that there's a grant for everybody. Okay, I'm gonna let you tell them this time, because I've been saying this.
It's so true, Ellie. I hear it all the time of like, because a lot of people are used to credit or loan applications, and they're not used to grant applications. And so they think that there's a such thing as high risk industries when it comes to grants. And that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth.
Right.
You don't have a high with grants. All you have to have is a business that has impact with your community, that has a narrative, has a desire to grow, and can clearly communicate that through the grants, so and the monies, and there's no limit on how much you can win.
Exactly. And that's what's powerful because, I also teach funding, right? I want to help my community get loans and build their business credit and really understand how to get that type of funding. But this is why grants are the perfect complement, because if you're someone who doesn't have the best personal credit, or if you're someone who isn't really in a position to take on a $50,000 loan because of the payments, get a $50,000 grant, position yourself for free money. Like, this is truly, like Stormy said, a way to grow your business and you don't have to pay anyone back. And here's, I think, my favorite thing about grants is that, yes, it can count towards your business revenue. But then in addition, once you start using the grant for tax deductible expenses, you just write it off. So you're not getting taxed.
Hello. Exactly. And there's so many different things that you can utilize it for, you guys. Inventory, marketing, getting a building, a storefront, brick and mortar. You can use it to hire staff, like anything under the sun other than paying off your debts, you can use grants for. So the sky is the limit when it comes to utilizing and winning grants.
It really is, y'all. This is why you have to, every single grant that you come across, you have to apply. Our grant, the Pitch Perfect grant, you have to apply, because I almost think of it also as like strengthening a muscle, right? With content creation, everybody's nervous the first few times, but once you start posting, you get in the habit. That's the same thing with grants, right? The first couple times you feel uncomfortable, but once it becomes just a part of your process, you really don't even think twice about it. And that's when you really start to see consistent wins, because like you said, you're putting yourself out there even more. One thing I wanted to ask you too is, when it comes to how people should spend their grant money, right? We talk about this over all the time over here in my community, but I'd love to hear from you. What are the best ways for people to really decide how they're going to spend their money, and what should they put on their budget in order to convince that grant board to give them the money?
The budget, I would honestly say, is the meat and potatoes of your application. You want to make sure that, let's say, for instance, the Pitch Perfect grant, it's a $5,000 grant. So you want to make sure that, what you're using money for actually costs $5,000, because the people who are looking over grant application, they're not new to reading over grants. So if you're putting, I'll buy $1 million property with the grant, they know that ain't true, right? So you want to be very honest in what you're using the money for and how much that actually costs. If you're not sure how much it costs, I always tell my people, pick up the phone. If you want to do new marketing, call some marketing agencies. If you want to get inventory, hit some people over in Philippines or China, whoever you're getting your inventory from, and see how much would it cost to get 1,000 units in your inventory, and put the actual numbers on your grant and then justify it, right? Me being able to get 1,000 units and products would allow me to do X, Y, and Z in my business and grow in these ways. You want to be specific and you want to justify what you're using it for with actual numbers, okay?
Yes. We need the numbers, y'all. Like, Stormy, we're right here, because this is the same thing I've been telling them forever. I'm like, y'all, please don't fill out a budget and just say $5,000 towards marketing. Because what does that mean? We need details, y'all. Everybody comment details in the chat, okay? We need the details. And no, it doesn't mean that you have to, explain where you're spending a particular $5 from the grant, but you have to think of it as, yes, there are many people applying to this grant, right? And if your budget is vague, but someone else is showing, hey, I would use this money to do exactly this, and this is exactly how it would help me, that person's probably going to win, right? So you really have to think about it as, if someone was trying to convince you to give them $5,000, what would you be looking for? That's probably what you want to be putting in your grant proposal, because that's what they're looking for. See it that way.
Yeah, I love that. And I see the comments, they're like, that's exactly what Ellie be teaching us. That's how you
they know.
This is stuff that works. Like, this is not something we just made up. This is from trial and error on our own. This is from our students winning. This is from literally This is the formula that works. So stick to the winning formula so that you can become what I like to call the obvious choice. you are going up against so many other people. And the more you can help me get to know you through your writing, the more I'll feel you in your business, in order to feel like, oh, this person, I love them. I think that they should win based on their answers, based on their business. I just think this would be perfect for them. You want to make us fall in love with you through the grant.
Yes, yes. And I think that's what's so great about grants is that when you win, right, when you get a loan, that company doesn't necessarily put you on their website. But when you win a grant, that company, you know, tells people, oh, this is our previous grant winner. You know, it kind of just gives you this extra, you know, just this extra boost, I would say, because you outwork the competition, you know, and in that way, that grant agency or whomever gave you the money is going to highlight you so that the next people who apply can kind of look to your business as an example and say, okay, if they could win, I could probably win too, you know?
Absolutely, for sure. And I think one of the things that you should always do with every grant application, including the Pitch Perfect application, which is open now, and the link is in the bio, is that you should also get to know the funder, get to know who's lending them, who's giving out the grant, right? Look at their social medias, look at what they deem as important, look at their morals of their company, see what are they finding important when it comes to business, because those are things that you want to tie in your answers to make yourself feel a little bit more connected to the actual grantors. Because if I'm reading an application, I'm like, oh, this sounds exactly like me. I'm like, this is an easy one for me. Then that's going to make you stand out against other people.
That is such a good tip. You always want to use the clues that they're giving you and put that in the proposal. So another thing I want you to talk to them about is, you know, a lot of the time in my community, people say, well, I'm not good at writing, you know, all these different things. What are your tips for those who feel uncomfortable or not confident in their actual writing skills?
Yeah, the best thing that you guys can do is don't use super Harvard law verbiage, right?
Yeah.
Keep it super simple. Like, this is not the place where you're writing to, you know, become a heart surgeon and you have to prove your elite skill sets. Like, keep it really simple. Use third grade language to break down what you're trying to explain to other people. Don't use any abbreviations when you're writing, because I don't know what those abbreviations in your business mean. So make sure you're spelling everything out really simply. And also, I always just try to say, use what is the app called where you put it, not like Word document, but where they test your grammar.
Grammarly.
Yeah.
Yes, Grammarly.
Use you know, apps like Grammarly so that you can make sure you don't have any misspelled words, because the easiest way to get out is if someone's reading it and has to translate what you're trying to say, that's given no. So
It's giving no.
Just use simple language, don't abbreviate, and make sure that you're using, you know, tools to help you get proper grammar.
I completely agree with that, y'all. You know, at the end of the day, when you're applying for these grants, don't try to be a business owner that you're not, right? Don't try to take on the characteristics of what you think will win, because, you know, Stormy and I both know authenticity, you can read it through the page. You know what I'm saying? You can see it, you can feel it, and you want to be authentic, even if it's not the best, most perfect sounding, it's you. My other favorite thing is, and I've told y'all this before, but on Google Docs, right? So this is how I write almost everything, because, you know, I like to write, but I'm a better speaker. So on Google Docs, y'all, you have to go to your, you know, settings, but basically there's a type talk to text option. So on Google Docs, you turn on the transcriber and just talk, you know, answer whatever the grant is asking you, answer the question with your words, allow Google Docs to just type it out, and then put that into Grammarly and get the spell check. You know what I'm saying? But at least in that way, it's truly coming from you. It's probably going to be a really good answer because you are the best person to talk about your business. And then you just get, you know, the spell check, the grammar check after the fact. So I think that's another really good way to do it.
No, I love that too. I definitely love that. And I have one thing I tell everyone well, is let's say for instance you use all your answers, you apply to the grant, and you do get denied, right? The best next step for you is to get some feedback on why potentially were you not chosen. Because if you see that, okay, maybe these answers did not get me to win, you can always get feedback to help you rearrange your answers to maybe do better on the next grant. So always ask for feedback if you do get denied, so that your answers so that you can use better answers on the next grant. So sometimes, like you were saying, Ellie, it takes you kind of building up that muscle so that you can start winning, right? And you want to build up that muscle. First day you go to the gym is not the first day you lose 10 pounds. I wish it was day, but that's not the case.
If it was, we would all be ready for summer, but we know that's not the case. You got to go to the gym a few months to start seeing some results. But I love that, asking for feedback. So what is the best way for them to reach out to, the grant provider and get that feedback in that case? Or do you recommend that they maybe ask someone else for feedback? What do you think is the best way to do that?
Yeah, I think both is good. I think before you actually go to submit your grant, have somebody proofread that thing. Have somebody be like, okay, if I was asking you for $5,000, would you give it to me with this, right? Ask somebody else for you, your homegirl or whoever, your biz bestie. And then also, technically, a lot of times they're not going to give you feedback until after they've already denied you. So simply, whatever email emailed you to say, hey, unfortunately, you have not won, then you just say, oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate this. Is there any feedback you can give me to better my chances to win your next grant opportunity or others in the future?
Exactly. I mean, listen, y'all, like I really consider that, especially when I'm teaching my community about funding, it's almost the same as when you're asking for a reconsideration letter, right? Just because you got denied for that loan doesn't necessarily mean that's the final answer. Just because you got denied for that credit card doesn't mean that's the final answer. And you should always, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You should always ask for either a reconsideration or for feedback, because how will you know, right? If you don't ask, how will you know what could have gone better on your grant application or in your business plan? Sometimes there's something very specific, but if you don't ask, they're not just gonna tell you. So asking gives you the opportunity to get that feedback, make it better for the next time. And just like you said, that next one or that next one after the next one could very well be the one that you win.
Absolutely. So continuously apply. And I want you guys to apply for the Pitch Perfect grant, which is now open, and $5,000 that I really feel like you could win. Like this.
No, like really.
And not even super duper like long or do. It's a fairly moderate application with questions that you should be able to answer. Get started today, because after our closing on April 25th. So you got 23 days of grant ready and get your application in.
You really do. So I'm going to actually show them just what it looks like, y'all. So hold on, let me turn my camera, because I want you guys to see how truly accessible we made this, because it's such a wonderful opportunity for 2 Black women to provide a grant to other minority-owned businesses. So when you click on the link in my bio, which, hold on, I got a bunch of tabs open. But when you're on my Instagram, right, or Stormy's, either one, you'll click on the link in the bio. You will go to the first link, okay, or you can just comment apply. But I want you guys to see just how quick and simple it is. So you're going to put in your, your information. Boom. hello@ellietalksmoney.com. What is my name? My name is Ellie. Boom. And we're going to apply to the Pitch Perfect grant. And then as soon as you apply, you're going to get a thank you message. And it literally, y'all, here is the application. So I want you guys to apply, take your time, fill this out. But you and this are like the only thing that is in your way of $5,000. You have to think about it that way. And remember, just like what Stormy said, if you've already been applying for grants, you've probably answered a version of these questions. If you've been following us, you probably definitely know how to answer this question, because I'm sure we talk about it all the time. So put yourself in position. And if this is your very first grant that you've ever thought about applying to, make this be what starts the habit for you, right? Let this grant be what starts your one grant a day or your 3 grants per week. Let this be what starts it, because what better way than to start with a grant that's created by people who look like you? You know what I'm saying? We have your best interest at heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to see also, who in here will this be your first time applying to a grant?
Yes.
Comment if this is your first time, because I don't know if you want to share with them, Ellie, too, like some of the reasons that are available for them if this is their first time and they didn't take any of our classes and they're like, hey, how can I learn how to do it? Because I need a little bit more information because I want to win.
We need a little more help, right? So let's see, because I'm sure this is probably going to be, okay, I'm seeing you guys comment me. This is your first time. This is your first time. So here's a wonderful thing that we created for y'all, right? Once you are in the process of submitting your application, you have the option to add on our Pitch Perfect bundle, okay? Now, who better to teach you how to apply for and win a grant than the 2 grant girls on Instagram, okay? Who else can possibly put you in position to win other than us? So this bundle, y'all, literally Stormy and I curated it. It's going to give you not only grant templates and grant proposal frameworks, but also the pitching secrets that you need to win, right? So I want you to be prepared to pitch yourself to a grant. I also want you to be prepared to pitch yourself to investors, to a board of funders and lenders, right? So that's what this Pitch Perfect bundle is going to do for you. And once you submit your application, you have the option to add that on so you can be ready for the pitch competition. Because let's make sure they know, once y'all apply for the grant, the finalists are going to be pitching on Instagram Live, okay?
And I'm the most excited about that, because
I'm so excited.
People up here and give them the opportunity to not only promote their business, but pitch their business to us and others, and kind of have like a community voting round where we can all decide who we feel like out of the are the ones that will win the $5,000.
Exactly. So, I really think that this is, and we strategically wanted to add the pitching part. I know I was really excited about the pitching because of the fact that in itself is another layer of confidence for you as a business owner, right? Applying to grants is one thing, but getting on live or on Zoom, whatever the case is, and pitching, even if it's a 2-3 minute pitch about your business, this is fantastic. Because in this case, it's for $5,000, but there's going to be an opportunity where you're pitching for $50,000 or $100,000. Beautiful said, she said, I don't want to go live. Girl, you better get ready.
Get ready. And I'm excited for you guys, because if you are 18 years or older, if you're a woman-owned business, entrepreneur, you're currently in your business and operating your business, you can apply for this grant. Is definitely
yes.
And I want you guys to do that, because a lot of times we exclude ourselves just because we feel like, wow, this won't be one for me. This is a grant truly for you. There's no application to apply. You can apply completely for free, and you guys can go and do that by commenting apply in the comments right now, or clicking the first link in bio to grab that link, save that link, and put it on your grant calendar for this month and get that. Okay.
Like, you must, y'all, make sure you get the bundle, because we really created that specifically to help you increase your chances of winning, not just this grant, but other grants and funding opportunities in the future. Because I don't know if you've been feeling it too, Stormy, but I feel like the grant opportunities this year have been outshining past years. Like, there's a lot of money out there right now.
A lot.
A
A lot.
lot. A lot. And y'all know we've been doing this for a while, but like I truly feel, I don't know what it is, but 2024, this year, there's a lot of grant money. Lenders are creating additional programs to get more approvals to you. So like this is the time, if there was ever a time, this is the time to make sure you know how to pitch yourself, to have a pitch deck. You're going to get the pitch deck template in the bundle. You know, this is the time to have these grant templates. This is the time to really position yourself because the money is calling. Okay.
Has to be ready. Like, I don't want you to miss an application simply because you didn't know what to put or video created, whatever the case may be. I want you guys to be ready at all times to win the money for whenever an application comes out. Hurry up and on it and just retweak your answers to go directed towards that grant tool. You guys can really win. Is there anybody in there who believes that their business be funded in the chat if you believe you are worthy to be funded? Because if some really just haven't had the to really shine just due to not getting the opportunity to get more capital to get started. And I want you guys to have this opportunity, take advantage of this opportunity. So put in the chat funded if you feel like you are worthy of.
Come on, funded. Comment funded in the chat. Y'all already know, honey. This is fully funded over here. This is fully funded over here. And I think what you said too is so poignant. You said worthy. And I tell my community all the time, you deserve funding. And we know what the statistics are, right? We know that number one, Black-owned businesses get the least amount of funding across the board. Black women-owned businesses get the least amount of funding across the board, right? These numbers are there for a reason. 4%, 3%, I mean, just insane differences in what they get versus what we get. So we really do have to shift our mindset and, you know, tell ourselves that we deserve this funding. You deserve to apply for every single grant that you see. You deserve to apply for every single funding opportunity that you see. You deserve to have these things in your wheelhouse because already the system is challenging enough. And the only way you're going to pierce through and for us to collectively raise that number is to show up and keep applying and do the thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't count yourself out before you get counted out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. My sentiments exactly. Absolutely. And the people who are going to be reviewing you guys' applications are everyday business owners just like you. So they know the struggle, understand what it takes. They understand where you're trying to go and what your vision is. But you have to make sure in your grant, here's a tip. In your grant, act like we don't know you, okay? Act like we don't know.
I like that.
Details, right? Because sometimes on grant applications, people are assuming that we know them in their industry. Act like we completely do not know you to make sure that you are sitting there and really discussing everything about the business so we can get to know what you have going on. But I'm more than excited, especially for the pitch competition.
I am literally off the wall excited. I think this is going to be fantastic. You know, and not only is this a great opportunity for you to win $5,000 for your business, but I say all the time, when you apply for grants, I feel like it increases your confidence as a business owner. It increases your belief in your business because when you can talk about your business, your baby, right? Something that you're working on and really explain to other people why they should believe in this business too. It just gives you that extra boost of, I'm really out here doing it. I am a business owner and I'm doing it, you know? And that is fantastic because that's confidence that whether you win or not, nobody can take that away from you, you know? That stays with you.
And that level of confidence, what you need to have perseverance in business, honestly. You need to really believe that you're in this business not for yourselves, but if you weren't in business, someone else would be, someone else would not the notary services at their hands. Someone else would not have the opportunity to win grants. Someone would not be able to get real estate. Someone else would not get their delivery from your trucking services. Someone else would not be able to get their hair done. Because of you, you are solving someone's problems and making their life better for them. So you are needed in the marketplace, and all you have to do is continue to show up and have experience all of the hard times, all of the struggles, all of the down times, so that you can really, grow your business and elevate to the next level.
Hello. I love that. It's time to elevate, okay? So, I mean, I'm really just super excited. So, I would say for us to end it strong, Stormy, you've written a bunch of grant applications. I've helped a bunch of people apply. What is your like one best tip that you would give for someone to increase their chances of winning a grant? Like, what's that one gem that they need to know?
Okay, one gem that we need to know. Juicy ones. I would say to really, 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 really be able to win, what you're going to want to do is, now the phrase that I use, and I've mentioned this earlier, is become the obvious choice. And the way that you really do that, you want to use the language of the grantor in your application. Because I don't know what this is. I don't know if you guys have ever been out to a networking event or somewhere new, but if you go and meet someone and you kind of gravitate to the people who have their hair similar to you, who kind of dress a little, look a little similar to you, because you're comfortable with what you recognize. And so on the grant application, if I'm reading your application, I can recognize myself in you, or Ellie can recognize herself in you, it's going to really make them feel more comfortable, with the app. So using the language of the grantor is going to make you feel like you are their obvious choice. You're one of them.
I love that. I love that. I think that's so important. And that's what they even teach in psychology. Like when you're getting to know someone, mimicking their language, mimicking their body language, just really paying attention to what they're giving you and reciprocating that, you're going to win almost every time. And this is also why we created this bundle for y'all, because if you are someone who this is your first time applying, this bundle is not only going to help you win this, but it will help you understand that psychology overall when it comes to grants and funding, so that you always know what to look for so you can include it in your grant proposals. And, I think that my core tip for y'all would really be to focus on the impact that your business makes. I love what you said earlier, Stormy, that you have to see your business as you solve someone's problem. In some way you make life easier for someone. Talk about that in your grant proposals, y'all. Please make sure you're highlighting the fact that, whether you have 300,000 followers or not, that doesn't matter. But the fact that your business can make impact in your specific niche and community, that is what motivates grantors to give the money, every single time. That's what motivates them.
Absolutely. We need them like this, okay? We need the grantors like this.
We want them to cut the check, y'all. Comment cut the check in the chat. Okay, comment cut the check in the chat, because that is what we want. So I'm going to show you guys one more time where to go at the link in my bio. You can also access it in Stormy's bio. You can also DM us for the link. But just to make sure you see how accessible this is, when you're on our page, go to our link tree, and that'll take you here. Apply for the grants, and you're just going to enter your information here. And once you do, you'll have the opportunity to add on your Pitch Perfect bundle and then start to fill out your application. So I definitely recommend using the Pitch Perfect bundle, accessing what's in there to help you with your application, just so you have it extra strong and confident. And then we're going to see you in the pitch competition. You know what I'm saying?
Good. That's going to be so good. I cannot wait.
I cannot wait either. I'm so excited. Yes, y'all, cut the check. You are picking up what we're putting down. So we will definitely be back on here to give y'all some tips for this grant and grants overall. But just like Stormy said, y'all have 23 days to submit this application, okay? It's due April 25th. And we will announce the winners in May 3rd, on Stormy's birthday. So it's going to be a fantastic month. You know, we're here for you. We want to see you win. Definitely add on that bundle. And then if y'all have a question, you know where to find me. You know where to find Stormy. And make sure you apply for this grant.
Absolutely. So much, Ellie, for having me, and you all in Ellie's community. You guys were amazing today. We appreciate you, and I cannot wait to read over and learn more about your business.
We are excited. Thank you, Stormy girl.
See ya.
Thank you, boo. Bye. I am so excited, y'all. Okay, so the ball's in your court. And you know, I just really feel particularly just blessed today. Like when I was praying and talking to God, I'm like, you know, just really thank you so much, God, because y'all know if you're someone who's been here since 2020 or 2021, I have been talking to y'all about grants for years. You know, courses, classes, lists of grants, templates, just the whole thing for years. And I'm grateful so many people have won grants. So now to be able to be in the check writing seat, right? I'm the one who's going to cut the check. I'm always telling y'all to go tell the other, you know, grant review people to cut the check. But this time I get to cut the check. So I'm just so excited about that because, you know, even if this is your first time applying for a grant, you're ready, right? What do I always tell you guys? You have to see your business as a big business. You have a big business. And I want you to see it as that and put yourself in position to win, whether it's this one or the next one. Put yourself in position to win because you deserve it. And, you know, whoever wins is going to be emotional, but I'm probably going to be the one crying because of the fact that it's really such a full circle moment. So, y'all know, listen, head to the link in my bio, okay? Apply for the grant. You can also go to thepitchperfectgrant.com and that will take you straight there as well. Thepitchperfectgrant.com. I'll pin that for y'all. You are absolutely worthy. And submit. You'll have the opportunity to add on your bundle there, which you have lifetime access to that Pitch Perfect bundle. So, you know, for this grant and for future opportunities, you'll always have that. All right. So thepitchperfectgrant.com. And yeah, I can't wait to start reviewing your applications. Thank y'all so much again for just being in my community, whether you just joined today or you've been here since 2020. I appreciate you. All right. Love y'all. Go start these applications and I'll check in with you guys.